Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE Monday Night Raw on March 30th, 2015. And you know how this one goes. This is the Raw after WrestleMania, craziest crowd of the year, because you have basically the leftovers of the WrestleMania crowd in this one Raw crowd here. Now, a lot of the people that were within the crowd at that point are the ones of that are kind of like vacation and getting one more day out of it before they go back home, or however it's going to be going for them. So you always get some interesting chance in how everything is throughout the entire night. But I'm not here to basically talk about how the crowd was. I'm here to talk about how Raw itself was. I would say most of this show was actually relatively good. I enjoyed the show for the most part. I like the beginning aspect. I actually like the aspect that they teased that Brock Lesnar would actually have a match on Monday Night Raw throughout the first hour of the show, just because you know he's not going to be having a full match on Raw. He's basically a pay-per-view guy, and so just the aspect that they teased it, that he'd be getting his rematch that night and everything, I liked how they did it. I liked the aspect of, how they kind of wrote him off TV for a little while in there by getting suspended. Also, the whole, him going absolutely ballistic on everyone around him when Seth Rollins got away and wasn't going to be defending the title that night was a really well done segment itself. Everything down to him getting, F5ing Michael Cole, taking out the announce team, taking out J&J security, the camera guy, everything down to eventually leading to Stephanie, suspending him indefinitely. That was a really good timed out spot throughout the entire thing, and the promo afterwards from Stephanie McMahon backstage was also really good as well. So that was definitely one aspect of Raw that I really did like. Other areas, debuts for the night, people that you've been seeing from NXT debuting finally on Monday Night Raw. The Lucha Dragons, you've been seeing them on Superstars as of late, but now they're making a full-on main roster debut with Monday Night Raw during that 8-man tag with the Ascension, Kid Cesaro, and the New Day, and of course the Lucha Dragons in there. Great to see that they allow Kalisto to basically cut loose and show everything he could do. Liked where they went with that. The Adrian Neville debut was kind of interesting that they decided to go with it that night, especially since you already have one debut with the Lucha Dragons, and they had finally shown for the first time a promo for Adrian Neville coming up to the main roster. Within an hour, he shows up on the show going up against Curtis Axel. And again, a nice little spot there to get Neville out there and show what he could do inside the ring. They can hopefully they'll be building what kind of character he's going to be playing as. You didn't really get a full sense of what his character is going to be here in the very near future. I like the aspect that they kept the whole tagline, "The Man Gravity Forgot," on there. He also came out with a cape this time. So there was rumor that they were going to do some kind of Mighty Mouse type character, big, not a big, but a stronger, smaller guy for Adrian Neville, or just Neville now. So we'll see where they go with that. Very well done debut for those guys. They all got to show off what they could do right off the bat. And we'll see, like I said, we'll see where they go with it. The Lucha Dragons, obviously, you know what they're going to be going for the entire time. It'll be interesting to see how they play out Adrian Neville's character throughout the weeks to come. The Intercontinental title match between Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan, what can you say? Those two in the ring, going to be a lot of fun. Like the night before when they did the headbutt spot on the ladder, that headbutt spot looks so dangerous and it looks so cool. I hope that is actually very safe for those guys, because it looks like they could be very dangerous for the two of them, especially if they accidentally just clank heads at any given time. So hopefully, like, that is just a super safe spot, but it looks really cool where it's at, and it does actually look very dangerous to go along with it. So we'll see how we'll see if they anywhere down the road they'll do another portion with Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. Obviously, they won't be doing it now with having Wade Barrett, going after both of them afterwards, which prompted Sheamus to return. And the crowd said he looks did the whole "you look stupid" chant, but if I remind myself briefly, that was how he basically was when he came in. So, and of course he was heel when he initially did it, and I like the heel turn here as well, because, I mean, there's always been rumor that it would be Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus whenever Sheamus came back. It's good because you can't really turn Daniel Bryan heel at this point. It's good to see Sheamus go on that aspect and attack Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler in this case, just to kind of get that aggressive, heelish character back into him. So we'll see how they go. We'll see how they go about. But I mean, I won't lie. Sheamus does look kind of weird with that mohawk and how he has his beard now. He's definitely gone back to the full-on dyeing the hair to a more brighter version of the red color. So, I mean, we'll see how the Daniel Bryan Sheamus storyline goes and when that fully starts as well. So, on that aspect, where to go to next? I mean, there was a lot that they did do throughout the entire show. I mean, I got the Brock Lesnar point in there. I have to go to where they were going with John Cena's open challenge for the United States Championship. Interesting pick that they would go with Dean Ambrose here. I did not feel that they were really ready to start a program with maybe Ambrose and Cena. I think they did it mostly just to put on a really good match throughout the entire night, because they kind of know the crowd from that after WrestleMania. They won some really good matches, and they delivered with Cena and Dean Ambrose. That was a really fun, entertaining match. Let's see if they actually do something down the road with this. The only interesting thing would have been, and I did like how the Byron Saxton and King did kind of point it out, especially later when Rusev came out. It's like you almost expected Rusev to be the one to accept this open challenge, but you get no answer from Rusev later. It's like, oh, why he didn't do it. They could save that for another portion of time. So we'll see where they go with that, but they kind of just put Rusev over more in a match with Goldust. I don't know on this. It's hard to say where they're going to be going with Rusev right now. I expect him to still be working with Cena for the time being, because you would expect the whole aspect of rematch and everything on that aspect there. So, I mean, we'll see where it goes with that. And of course, you also had Paige, Naomi, and AJ against the Bellas, and now it's slipping my mind who the sixth diva was there. I completely forget. It was Natalya, and I don't know why I forgot that Natalya was inside that match. Relatively good divas match, actually. Again, they've been doing really good about giving more time for matches for them, and that aspect is everyone would agree that divas don't sell the show. But now that they're actually giving some time, maybe that the fans can start getting behind some more of the characters outside of just a few of them. Give them a chance to show some kind of personality or something in that area. So it's not bad. And again, like I said, the matches recently have been fairly entertaining. They haven't overly sucked in any way. So it's definitely a welcome change. Let's see if they can start building some decent storylines around the divas down the road. So pretty much, like I said, the most part this show was relatively good, and maybe this is because what I've come to expect every year the night after WrestleMania. you kind of expect that swerve at the end of the night, or some kind of fun surprise, and you really didn't get it at the end of the night. Yeah, they have that one, like each year they have that one moment that after, or at least in the past few years, they have that one moment at the end of Raw that says, "Oh." And they didn't really have that this year. You had the 6-man tag with Ryback and Randy Orton, and then you had Kane, Seth Rollins, and The Big Show. And in all honesty, you expected Roman Reigns in some way, shape, or form and to be in a portion of that main event. And that's who they did have come out there. But you were, like, if you'd watched, like, the Raw after WrestleMania the past few years, like, you have that one, like I said, there's that one moment that just makes the crowd go crazy. Like, after WrestleMania 27, you had or not WrestleMania 27. Well, after WrestleMania 27, you had the announcement of Cena Rock, which no one expected to have a main event for WrestleMania the next year, announced a year ahead. Then you had Brock Lesnar come out after WrestleMania 28, and you know that moment that people just it went big time with. The Ryback turn after WrestleMania 29 was one of those areas. It didn't end out so well for Ryback, but it definitely got a big attention getter at the end of Raw. Last year with WrestleMania 30, you had Evolution, squaring off with the Shield and beginning that storyline there. This year, you kind of just got a match. That's all you got. You didn't really get that moment that says, I've got to come back next week. You obviously got some of those moments throughout the entire night, but you didn't get that ending moment that says, this is going to be something good coming up very soon. You kind of just maybe got an expectation of maybe a continuation of Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, this time for the title, or maybe it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Who knows? I felt the last 40 minutes of Raw were kind of weak. The show from the beginning to up to that point was really good and fairly enjoyable, but that last 40 minutes was like kind of blah, and it felt like it was missing something, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just an aspect that they didn't have that one more surprise or something like that they could pull out of their hat throughout for the night. But we'll see how storylines continue on afterwards. I mean, obviously you have the debuts coming in and continuations of trying to build Adrian Neville and the Lucha Dragons. Where are they going to go with the Brock Lesnar storyline with Seth Rollins and him being suspended? You have aspects in there. Where will they go with? You would expect where will they go with John Cena and Rusev down the road? Where will they go with who's going to get like the next shot at the Divas title? And of course, even with Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, or maybe even Sheamus going up against Dolph Ziggler first, then he goes after Daniel Bryan after they do something with Wade Barrett with Daniel Bryan. We'll see where they go with everything. And like I said before, for the most part, Monday Night Raw was a very enjoyable show. It was just that ending that kind of was a little bit lackluster, and it's kind of sad that they couldn't get something big for the end of the show this year, but it is what it is in that case. So that's my review this week for Monday Night Raw, and I thank you guys for watching.